This bridge has been coming for many, many years. The design is incredible. It's going to be one of those game changers.
Yeah, that's a commissioner in Miami celebrating just a week ago a new bridge. Now at least 4 are dead and a recovery is underway.
I'm live on Lemon Avenue behind Sarasota Military Academy, and where there's a constant battle between students and cars on Lemon Avenue. We're telling you a safety hazard for students and how it can possibly be resolved.
And that time of year, the Sarasota County Fair starts today. We'll have a preview with ticket costs and more. The Suncoast News starts right now.
You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5.
Good morning, early risers. We have made it to the end of the week. Well, some of us have. Stephanie is sick this morning. It is Friday, March 16th, St. Patrick's Day Eve. I'm Ray Collins. John Scalzi joins us now with the weekend forecast. Good morning, John.
Good morning to you. It looks pretty good for us this weekend, Ray, although it's a little chilly out there this morning. Yeah, I noticed that. It's in some places actually a little cooler this morning than it was yesterday morning. Sarasota being one of those places, coming in at 41 degrees. Bradenton at 44, Mayaca 43, Venice 49, Inglewood 50. But inland temperatures are actually running a degree or two warmer, with Wauchula at 43, Arcadia at 44. You can see that on the 24-hour temperature change map. 5 degrees cooler Mayaca City. 7 degrees cooler in Bradenton and 8 degrees cooler in Sarasota. Across the state of Florida, not a drop of rain falling. However, as we head into next week, that will change as more rain showers come our way. The forecast for today, shaping up like this. We'll have a daytime high, the top side at about 71, a little bit warmer than yesterday. And in fact, that warming trend will carry us right straight into the weekend. We'll have the complete forecast for you coming up in a few.
Sounds good. Talk to you soon. Thank you, John. Let's check the roads. First alert traffic showing an issue already on State Road 70. We'll click on that and find out exactly where that is. It's at Natalie Way. So be aware of that little side street called Natalie Way at State Road 70, also called 53rd Avenue. We'll check on that throughout the morning. Be aware of that. Checking farther south down the maps, you'll see a little blip there on 301 southbound as you approach University. Otherwise pretty clear in that section of our region. You'll see up there in the top left corner Clark Road, some issues eastbound, even coming from the other side of the interstate and heading toward Sarasota. Otherwise checking out pretty clear across the region right now at 5:02 on this Friday morning. We've got a live picture to show you of Fruitville Road. You rarely see Fruitville that quiet. That's not too far from the fairgrounds. We'll have updates on the traffic on Fruitville and also details of today's fair coming up in just a few seconds here on Good Morning Suncoast. But first, an update on that bridge that collapsed in Miami, killing 4 people yesterday. Aerial footage shows the active scene overnight. Rescue crews are still searching for survivors this morning. ABC's Maggie Rulli tells us what they think went wrong.
There's 2 cars under there.
Overnight, rescue crews frantically worked to get to those still trapped underneath the weight of this nearly 1,000-ton bridge.
There's blood everywhere.
Bringing in search and rescue dogs and heavy equipment, many first responders fighting to keep victims alive.
We need to begin to do chest compressions, keep this guy alive, keep the oxygen going to the brain.
The bridge was meant to be a beacon of collaboration and hope, connecting students at Florida International University to nearby Sweetwater.
This bridge was about goodness, not sadness. Now we're feeling immense sadness.
Heralded as a feat of engineering, the school posting this video of the bridge going up in just hours this past weekend. Using accelerated bridge construction, the entire piece of bridge was rotated over the 8-lane highway in the largest use of this relatively new technology. Authorities say they were conducting a stress test on the bridge Thursday morning, and Florida Senator Marco Rubio tweets that the bridge collapsed when the cables were being tightened.
Part of this project is federal funding. And the families of those who have been hurt and who lost their lives deserve to know what went wrong.
The state's top leaders all calling for a full and thorough investigation.
And again, if anybody's done anything wrong, we'll hold them accountable.
Since 2010, more than 800 of these instant bridges have been constructed, and they're supposed to be a safer way to build. Now a 15-person NTSB team is here on the scene, working to figure out if this tragedy was caused by a design flaw or construction error. Maggie Rulli, ABC News, Miami, Florida.
Our sister station in Tallahassee reached out to the company FIG Engineering Group, which is headquartered there. They released a statement saying, in part, we are stunned by the collapse and their deepest sympathies are with all of those affected by the accident. and they'll fully cooperate with every appropriate authority in reviewing what happened and why. New this morning, also in Tallahassee, the mayor there is asking for a full inspection of a bridge built by FIG Engineering. They built the Capitol Cascades Crossing Trail and Bridge. The FDOT says they have to inspect that bridge based on the mayor's request now. FIG also is responsible for building the Sunshine Skyway Bridge that connects Bradenton to St. Petersburg. Other news now, there's a daily battle between drivers and students around the Sarasota Military Academy. Students cross from a parking lot to the school grounds and back. There's no crossing there, and there's also no school zone signs. Marla Spence is there right now with details of this issue. Marla.
Good morning, Ray. That is right. There's been several close calls in this area as students oftentimes and every day make their way back and forth from Sarasota Military Academy to an open lot across the street on Lemon Avenue. We're told that open lot is used for parking as well as PE and also military training courses for students. We're told that the students and the cars in this area isn't the issue, but what the issue is the lack of signage to alert drivers to slow down as well as to beware of students crossing the street. Take a look. This is footage that we got just yesterday around 10:45 a.m. That was a time that was not nearly as busy as throughout the daytime or the afternoon times. You can see that students crossing from the school to the lot, all while drivers are trying to make their way down Lemon Avenue. We had the chance to speak to a few students as they were leaving campus, and they tell us this is an issue that should be addressed.
Pay attention to us, and if they never slow down, and they just zoom right past us.
And they don't like to stop either because it's like an inconvenience for them to let the kids cross. They got somewhere to be, so they don't want to stop. So they see us coming, they'll floor it, speed by, try to get ahead of us.
We're told school faculty and staff that they oftentimes watch the students as they cross the street. The only issue, unlike controlling the students, they cannot control the cars coming to and from on Lemon Avenue. Coming up at 5:30, you're going to be hearing from school officials as well as what the future of this open lot could potentially be. Reporting live in Sarasota, I'm Marla Spence for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Okay, thank you, Marla Spence. A follow-up now on the wildfire in Venice yesterday. The fire is now under control, but these images you're about to see give us a glimpse of the extent of the damage. About 10 acres in a wooded area near Casperson Beach were covered in flames and smoke. Crews from Venice, Nokomis, Sarasota County, and the Florida Forest Service all worked together to put out the fire. They say it was a hard-to-reach area, forcing them to walk 2 miles to get to it.
When you're trying to take heavy brush vehicles or fire apparatus to that point, it became quite a task. So we took some chainsaw work and some ingenuity, and we made it.
It was very frightening because the way the wind was blowing and with the dryness of everything, we were expecting anything. It could go anywhere.
Fire officials say 1 man was sent to the hospital for smoke inhalation. 8 people were evacuated. Investigators are still trying to figure out how this fire was sparked in the first place. Happening today, the 82nd annual Sarasota County Fair. It runs through the end of the month in honor of the grand opening today. You can ride all the rides for just $20. Gates open at 2 o'clock this afternoon. Adult ticket prices are $8, 4 for seniors and 4 for kids 6 and up. Parking is free. Fairgrounds are on Fruitville Road between Tuttle and Beneva. Still ahead, first alert traffic and find out what happened when some diners tried to dash without paying their bill. A bar owner got creative. We'll have that story on the way. And why is that man so excited? We'll find out about a new kind of bar that lets you get a little bit reckless. John Scalzi. My fault. We're going to look outside the window first and see it's a peaceful day right now in the Rosemary District. Off to a chilly start again, though, John.
Yes, indeed it is. In fact, temperatures are running a little bit below average. And if we look at the low temperature trend over the next several days, there's good news here. We're certainly on a roller coaster ride that's going upwards over the next few days. But then watch what happens toward the end of the period. We'll look for temperatures to fall once again next week. That's because of another front coming our way. We'll talk about that in detail in a few minutes. Drive time forecast, no boxes checked. Everything looks good. Heading out the door in the upper 40s, coming home in the upper 60s. Complete forecast in a minute.
That is a pretty good breakfast. You're not even eating.
Not hungry.
No? Why not? What's up? Kath and I knew that Jenny'd been partying a bit. Found out she tried heroin.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
Alex Karras Lincoln's 40th anniversary sale. Drive a brand new 2018 Lincoln MKC for $279 per month or the Lincoln MKZ for $299 per month. We have a great selection of certified pre-owned Lincolns. These vehicles have warranties up to 100,000 miles and come with complimentary roadside assistance. Alex Karras Lincoln, where our mission statement is consistent commitment. Every client, every time. Located 2 miles north of the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport on US 41.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
I owed the IRS $20,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
We saved our home and overcame the most powerful collection agency in the world.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 1-800-565-7740. That's 1-800-565-7740.
According to a new survey by U.S. News & World Report, 3 of Alabama's top 4 hotels and resorts are part of the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail Resort Collection. The Grand Hotel Marriott Resort in Point Clear, the Battle House Renaissance Mobile Hotel and Spa, and the Renaissance Birmingham Ross Bridge Golf Resort and Spa. Hey, we didn't invent Southern hospitality. We just offer more of it. Visit rtjgolf.com/resorts to find out more.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
A 41-degree air temperature outside with a dew point value of 39. So a little bit cooler this morning. I think we may see those temperatures dip to near 40, maybe 39 degrees, but it's not going to get colder than 39 degrees. We're looking at the east wind coming in at about 5, and it is a chilly start to the morning, particularly with that little bit of a breeze blowing. We have 45 degrees by about 7 o'clock this morning. Then as we head into the afternoon and things start to heat up with a little bit of sunshine, we'll see temperatures begin to lift up to near 71 for a daytime high by 3 p.m. And then as we head into the evening hours, again, it will be cool as temperatures fall off pretty rapidly again tonight. I think by 7 p.m. we'll be back into the 60s. And we'll probably be headed for a temperature that'll be in the 40s again tonight. Then we'll start to warm up significantly, I think, as we head into the weekend and start to see a little bit more rain, a little bit more moisture in our forecast. No rainfall, not quite yet. The eastern seaboard is quiet all the way back toward Louisiana Delta region, and then we get into a series of low pressure areas. Those low pressure areas producing rain showers and snow showers at higher elevations, actually. Both of these fronts are going to eventually kind of team up together to bring a cold front through our area next week. And that will once again lower our temperatures just a little bit. So we'll be riding this temperature roller coaster again next week, it looks like. Big ridge of high pressure sits over us today, kind of reducing our wind speeds a little bit. And as it moves out into the Atlantic, our winds shift more to an easterly direction. And with that comes our warm up that will carry us right straight through the weekend. Following that frontal boundary back to the west will be approaching, and that's what's going to bring us our rain shower chances by about Tuesday of next week. So warmer this weekend. Will be dry through the weekend and into the middle of next week. And then we'll wait for that next cold front on the way that promises us that chance of some showery activity and some cooler temperatures as well. The forecast on our futurecast shows us with clear skies today and tomorrow as well. I think maybe a little cloud cover around tomorrow, higher level clouds, but nothing producing rainfall. And then as we head into Sunday, there might be a few scattered showers just to our north, but nothing over our area until we get to about Tuesday of next week, when this frontal boundary will develop, move into our area late in the day, I think, on Tuesday, bringing us that rain shower chance, maybe even a thunderstorm or two, and then that front sinks south of us by Wednesday morning. We start to clear out, maybe an isolated sprinkler shower on early Wednesday. Then the rest of the week looks nice, actually, with a lot of sunshine mixed with some fair weather clouds and not much of a rain chance. So the forecast looks like this. We'll look for a north wind for boating today. Beautiful boating weather, actually. Kind of light conditions out there. Light chop anticipated, actually. Water temperature now at 66 degrees. 7-day forecast shaping up like this. Today, 72. Tomorrow on St. Patty's Day, we'll look for a temperature of about 75 degrees for a daytime high. Not bad at all. The forecast for St. Patty's Day calls for plenty of sunshine around. If you're celebrating in the evening, I think it'll be just fine with clear skies, light winds, rain-free, and mostly sunny conditions. Then, as we head into Sunday, I think we'll look for about a 77-degree temperature, so a big, significant warm-up. Then comes the cold front our way beginning of next week. Late chance of showers on Monday, good chance on Tuesday evening of showers, maybe a thunderstorm, then turning cooler for Wednesday and Thursday. Ray?
Very good. Thank you, John. Checking first alert traffic, an ongoing stubborn problem there on State Road 70 at Natalie Way. The icon has changed from an accident to an exclamation mark. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. We'll check on that throughout the morning. Let's go farther south now and see a little blip there, 301 northbound as you head toward University. Otherwise pretty clear in that section of the county. And checking farther south now, we'll see how we're doing to the south, and it's looking mostly clear. A couple small delays, nothing too bad at 517 on this Friday morning. Caught on camera, some shocking video from California of a driver hitting a 12-year-old girl and then taking off. It appears as if the light is green for both the driver and the girl, but as the driver turned left, she does not yield to the girl and hit her. The car stopped briefly before steering around the girl and leaving. Another driver from the other direction stopped to help. She was taken to the hospital and had minor injuries. Police are still looking for that hit-and-run driver. Also caught on camera, an Arizona bar owner takes extreme measures to stop people from dining and dashing. You can see a couple sitting down after a server locked the door to stop them from walking out. The man has words with the bar owner and then punches him in the chest. Moments later, you see the bar owner pull out his taser and the customer goes down.
A bill like $126 can just about take the whole day profit away.
The tab was eventually paid by Tucson police. The customers are charged with assault and disorderly conduct. A bar in New York has combined large amounts of alcohol and axe throwing. What could possibly go wrong? Kick Axe is a place described as an axe throwing lodge in the heart of Brooklyn. The owner describes axe throwing as the new bowling and says it's safer than it looks.
Actually in a controlled environment, and all of our experts are highly trained and will make sure that there's nothing dangerous going on.
But it's actually the element of danger that's attracting customers. So far, customers seem to be loving it. And the good news is no injuries reported. And you don't have to rent shoes either. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, Facebook Lite. It's an app that's super popular in other countries, and beginning today, it's available in the U.S. We'll show you how it's different from regular Facebook. And Google Maps adding new features for those who are not physically able. We'll show you how it works. But first, let's go to Manhattan to peek of Midtown. There's the Empire State Building there in the front left, built back in 1931. Quite an iconic building there in Manhattan. It is 34 degrees right now in New York. They'll see a high of 37. We'll see a high of 72 here on the Suncoast. We prefer it here on Good Morning Suncoast.
Who else has been taking your prescriptions? Keep your medicine and your family safe and secure. Mind your meds. To learn how we can help, visit the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids at drugfree.org.
We're losing exotic animals on a daily basis, and the ones that we have in captivity are really the ambassadors for their wild counterparts. I'm Clayton Rozier from the Big Cat Habitat and Gulf Coast Sanctuary, housing over 150 exotic animals that needed a great home. And if you love animals, please help them. Do it locally. Support your local no-kill shelters, your local wild animal sanctuaries. Make a difference where you can.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate. It's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
Stay connected to your clients and new customers using ABC7 Digital Media Services. Our team of professionals provide a wide array of digital services to help you get the most out of your website. We specialize in building and helping you maintain the most effective digital solutions for your business. It's vital that your online presence stands out, so our experts will equip you with the best resources available. Trust ABC7 Digital Media Services to give you the right tools to grow your business.
Here's a shot outside of the Rosemary District, looking outside of our studios. Off to a pleasant start so far today. John says mostly sunny today and a high of 72 after, again, a chilly start this morning. Well, they grew up with MTV and grunge, but sorry, Gen Xers, you are getting older. A new study shows Gen Xers are not so great when it comes to money. If you were born between 1965 and the late 70s, you were part of Generation X. New survey shows that nearly 4 out of every 10 Gen Xers say they'd like to fully retire someday, but know they won't be able to afford it. That's because 43% of Gen Xers are behind in savings, and nearly 20% aren't saving or investing at all. Only a third of Gen Xers surveyed said they expect to be very secure in retirement. Good for you. An update this morning on a dog that was put on a wrong flight and sent overseas. He is now back home, safe and sound. United Airlines mistakenly shipped 10-year-old Ergo to Japan, not Kansas. Ergo was suffering from an ear infection. Not sure if that was before or after. He made the 16-hour flight with no food or water. He was examined in Japan and then flown back to Kansas last night.
Oh, he instantly jumped up and was just crying. When he's super excited, he cries.
I do too. United apologized in a statement saying that an error occurred during connections in Denver for 2 pets sent to the wrong destinations. This mix-up comes one day after a French bulldog died on board a different flight after flying more than 3 hours from Houston to New York in an overhead bin. St. Patrick's Day is tomorrow. Reporter Marielle Aber shows us how many people are willing to spend.
St. Patrick's Day spending is expected to reach record levels this year. Spending is projected to hit $5.9 billion on St. Patrick's Day, and that number is up from $5.3 billion last year. The National Retail Federation has been tracking St. Patty's Day spending for 14 years. This year's survey found that over 149 million adults plan to celebrate the Irish holiday. And so the nearly $6 billion comes to an average of $39.65 a person. The demographic breakdown shows that folks age 18 to 24 will participate in the festivities at the highest rate, at 77%. 83% of those celebrating plan to wear green. The top items St. Patty's Day celebrants plan to buy are food and beverages. 50% will purchase food and 41% will buy drinks. 27% will attend a party or restaurant. And one factor playing a part in the record numbers is the day it falls on this year. St. Patrick's Day falls on a Saturday. May the road rise to meet you, may the wind be ever at your back, and may the luck of the Irish be with you.
A version of Facebook that's wildly popular in developing countries is coming to the U.S. ABC's Diane Macedo and Candace Gibson have that and other stories in today's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, Facebook Lite is coming to America. It was originally designed for developing countries with limited bandwidth.
Well, now it's being made available to Americans looking to take less of a bite out of their data plans.
But for now, it's only available for Android users. While Google Maps is adding wheelchair-accessible routes, now it'll tell you how to safely get around in some of the world's biggest cities.
Those cities are London, New York, Tokyo, Mexico City, Boston, and Sydney. Google says it's working to add more metro areas.
And finally, March Madness has nothing on this hoops shooting robot. It was made by some Toyota engineers in Japan. They say they built it in their spare time.
Yeah, it might need to loosen up a little bit before taking the court for real, but when it comes to shooting in practice, it's right there with the best of them. Shaq is jealous of its free throw skills.
Very consistent. Those are your Tech Bites.
With the right guidance, this is saving for retirement. This is saving for your son's college. And this is saving for your daughter's wedding. This? Well, this is just scary. Feeling it. Show your clients the power of combining wealth and health. Be a part of what's next at transamerica.com.
What are you doing?
I don't need all this. Mucinex Fast Max can handle most of my symptoms.
Name one.
How about 9? Even?
Yeah, I can read.
We're done here.
Mucinex Fast Max cold, flu, and sore throat fights 9 symptoms. Let's end this.
It's springtime and we're buying coats.
Burlington has everything.
I came here for a skirt.
Sandals.
Great shirts.
For the home. Beautiful handbags. Getting organized.
All the great brands at a fraction of the cost.
Burlington, without Coat Factory. I get it.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad, and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Hi, I'm Janelle Hale, founder and CEO of the National Breast Cancer Foundation. No one should face breast cancer alone. When I was diagnosed 36 years ago, there was no internet, and I had to make a decision with little information. Early detection saved my life. It could save yours too. To learn what every woman needs to know about breast cancer, visit nbcf.org/hope.
This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Yeah, I have questions.
Prescription drugs aren't as bad as street drugs, right?
Weed's legal, isn't it?
Drinking is worse than smoking weed.
Isn't it? Why
is heroin so addictive?
Molly just makes you feel happy.
I have questions.
Mom?
Dad, did you ever try drugs?
They're going to ask. Be ready. Go to drugfree.org. A message from Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
I love taking care of my mom. It wasn't easy at first. She learned how to better communicate her needs. And you learned how to not ignore yours. I discovered how to make healthier meals, and I discovered how much I enjoyed them.
Becoming a caregiver is a learning experience for everyone. Find articles, tips, and tools from experts and others who have been in your place. The Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.
The thought of my sons growing up without me inspired me to quit smoking.
I talked to my doctors, and then I threw away all my cigarettes, ashtrays, and lighters.
I started exercising instead of smoking.
Letting my friends online know I was quitting kept me on track.
Staying away from alcohol when I was first quitting was key.
I kept on trying, learned something each time.
Do whatever it takes.
No matter how many times it takes.
We did it. You can too.
For free help, visit cdc.gov/tips.
My name is Stephen Jaffe. The law firm's name is Farmer Jaffe. One of the beautiful things about Julius is he's always smiling, and it becomes infectious. The fact that Julius has a disability has absolutely nothing to do with the quality of work that he's done. Just a great person you want on your staff.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Heroes of the Dorm Atlantic Coast region, where students are competing in Heroes of the Storm for their shot at over $500,000 in prizes.
You, right? This half hour on Good Morning Suncoast, expanding probe. Just when you thought the Russian investigation was winding down, it may not be. The latest on the president's sanctions.
I'm live on Lemon Avenue behind Sarasota Military Academy, where student safety is becoming an issue with the cars in this area. What that issue exactly is and how it could be resolved is straight ahead.
And busted, undercover agents arrest a man in Bradenton for trying to sell them drugs. Those stories and much more this half hour on Good Morning Suncoast.
You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5:30.
Good morning, Friday, March 16th. Glad you're with us, 5:30. Stephanie's off today. I'm Ray Collins. We begin this half hour with some breaking news, an update on the death toll in Miami after a bridge collapse. It is now up to 6 that have died in that bridge collapse. It was 4 until right now. It collapsed yesterday in front of Florida International University. It's a brand new bridge. This is a live aerial footage, well, not quite aerial footage, but rather footage from the ground of the scene at this moment. Rescue crews are still searching for survivors. 10 other people were reported missing, injured. The cause of the collapse is still under investigation. Again, the latest death toll now stands at 6 after this tragic situation at a new bridge just opened recently in Miami. We'll have more on that throughout the morning. But first, let's get a check on the weekend forecast. Here he is, meteorologist John Scalzi. Hey, John.
Thanks, Ray. We're looking at some chilly temperatures out there this morning. As you head out the door, you're going to want to wear a light jacket, maybe a sweater. The good news is I think you'll be able to lose both of those items as you head into the afternoon, as temperatures are going to be a little bit warmer this afternoon than they were yesterday. We've kind of started a warming trend yesterday and carry it on today and right straight through the weekend, really, with each day being just a little bit warmer than the previous day. We're looking at 51 degrees Longboat Key, Venice coming in at 49, 50 degrees in Inglewood, 45 Northport, 43 Mayaca City, Lakewood Ranch 45, Bradenton 43, inland temperatures a bit cooler, Wauchula 43, so is Arcadia. This represents a temperature that's a little bit cooler than it was 24 hours ago, 8 degrees cooler in Sarasota, 7 degrees cooler in Bradenton, to give you an idea of what you might be facing when you head out the door. Titan radar quiet this morning and will be throughout the day today. Dry air is in place. That's going to allow for a rapid cool up and also a rapid cool down tonight as well. So the day planner shows temperatures continuing to climb up to about 71 degrees for a daytime high. Should be a lovely afternoon. Talk about the weekend forecast in just a few. Ray?
All right, talk to you soon. Thank you, John. Checking first alert traffic right now, an ongoing issue on State Road 70. Be aware of that little blip there at Natalie Way, an ongoing issue. We'll check on that. Let's go farther south now on the map and see that there's some issues on 301 still northbound as you head toward University Parkway. Another little accident icon to show you there near Clark Road as we go farther south, and it goes to the top left corner of your screen. Let's find out what that is there. It looks like it's near Gulf Gate or Clark Road perhaps. We'll click on that to get more information about that. It is at Swift Road, a roadblock from Austin to Fort Worth. It looks like the words are cut off on my screen here, but we'll check on that throughout the morning. Anytime you do have accidents, we'll have them on our app, by the way. But first, let's take a look at the Fruitville Road. This is a live shot of Fruitville by the fairgrounds. The fair actually begins today. We'll have details of that. And there's also to your left there a live picture of the traffic, or lack thereof right now, on Fruitville Road. So anytime you see accidents, you can check on our app to cross-check that and get also weather updates. Our app is at the App Store under WWSB or under My Suncoast. New developments in the U.S. sanctions against Russia for meddling in the U.S. election. ABC's Kenneth Moten tells us what it could do to the relationship between the two countries.
This morning, Special Counsel Robert Mueller's Russia probe is reaching into the Trump family business. ABC News has confirmed Mueller subpoenaed the Trump organization for any documents related to Russia.
Speaking for myself, I own nothing in Russia. I have no loans in Russia. I don't have any deals in Russia.
The New York Times reporting the subpoena was issued over the past several weeks. A source familiar with the investigation tells ABC News the subpoena is a sign Mueller's investigation is expanding, and he's obtained information which raises more questions about the financial dealings of the Trump organization. In an interview with The Times last year, President Trump said the special counsel would be crossing a red line if he looked into Trump business dealings. The White House wouldn't say if that's still the case.
As we've maintained all along, and as the president has said numerous times, there was no collusion between the campaign and Russia.
As the Russia investigation expands, the president is joining UK Prime Minister Theresa May and other leaders, condemning Russia for the poison attack on a former Russian spy and his daughter in England.
Do you think Putin was behind this, Mr. President?
It looks like it. I spoke with the Prime Minister, and we are in deep discussions, a very sad situation. It certainly looks like the Russians were behind it, something that should never, ever happen.
And for the first time, the Trump administration hit several Russians with sanctions for alleged election meddling and accused Moscow of an elaborate plot to target the U.S.'s electric grid, factories, water supply, and even air travel through cyber hacking. Kenneth Moten, ABC News, Washington.
After 12 years of marriage, Donald Trump Jr. and his wife Vanessa are divorcing. In a joint statement, they wrote in part, "We have 5 beautiful children together and they remain our top priority." The couple did not give a reason for their split. They met in 2003 when the president introduced them at a fashion show, and they were married 2 years later. The daughters of 2 longtime politicians are going at it on Twitter. It began when Senator John McCain first questioned President Trump's new nominee for CIA director, Gina Haspel. Then the daughter of former Vice President Dick Cheney, Congressperson Liz Cheney, went after the Arizona senator, saying he shouldn't slander the people behind the program's extreme interrogation techniques. Then Meghan McCain, John's daughter, tweeted to Cheney saying that "my father doesn't need torture explained to him." Of course, Senator McCain was tortured as a prisoner of war during Vietnam. He has since advocated against using torture methods as a way of getting intelligence from captives.
But against this backdrop of threats.
New this morning, the UK Defense Secretary is ordering British soldiers be vaccinated against anthrax poisoning. He's accusing Russia of ripping up the international rule book. This in the wake of the Salisbury nerve agent attack. He also stresses that the chemical threat doesn't just come from Russia.
I made the decision to offer the anthrax vaccine to our forces at the highest readiness, providing them with vital protections against a deadly danger.
Gavin Williamson also announced the building of a new chemical weapons research facility to help counter a growing threat from Russia and other countries. He said the $67 million center will ensure Britain maintains its cutting edge in chemical analysis and defense. Back in this area, after a month-long undercover investigation, detectives have arrested a Bradenton man for selling cocaine. In a so-called buy-bust, an undercover sheriff's agent ordered the drugs from the man. His name is Jean Marcin. The two arranged to meet at 18th Street West in Bradenton. That's where they arrested him for the sale of cocaine. More charges are now pending. There's a daily battle between drivers and students around the Sarasota Military Academy. Students cross from a parking lot to the school grounds and back and forth during the day. There's no crossing there. There's no school zone signs there. Marla Spence is there with an update on this daily situation. Marla?
Yeah, Ray, close calls to students getting hit by cars right here on Lemon Avenue is a concern between students and also school officials with Sarasota Military Academy. Take a look. This is video of what students and also drivers face daily on Lemon Avenue as students cross from the school to a lot where their cars are parked or for PE or military training courses. The issue here is the lack of signs in this area. We spoke to the head of school, Colonel Christina Bowman, and she tells us she is well aware of this issue.
Signage in front of the school. We don't have nearly the traffic from our cadets and the vehicle traffic as well. It's always been a concern for us, absolutely. That's why we make sure it's very controlled when our cadets cross the street.
The lot used for students across from the school on Lemon Avenue is leased by Sarasota Military Academy, by the Housing Authority. This issue could possibly resolve itself because there are plans to put affordable housing in that lot by the Housing Authority. But in the meantime, while that hasn't been done, school officials and students want something to be done in this area to ensure school safety. Coming up at 6 o'clock, we're going to be telling you what the city of Sarasota says has to be done in order to put signs right here to ensure student safety. Reporting live in Sarasota, I'm Marla Spence for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Marla, thank you. New video captured by a boater shows the wreckage of a military jet that crashed off the coast of Key West, killing both men on board. Investigators say the jet was on approach to the Naval Air Station when it crashed into shallow waters about a mile east of the runway. The Pentagon acknowledges that budget shortfalls have caused issues with military capabilities, including training and flight hours, but they stopped short of blaming those cutbacks for that tragedy. 2 unseasonably cold months to start the year have not been kind to Florida manatees. The state says more than 150 have died the first 2 months of the year statewide. More than 50 of those deaths, or about a third, are due to the cold. That's more than double previous years. A fish and wildlife conservation biologist says the cold weather mortality has not reached an alarming rate, though.
Cold stress is a natural mortality, cause of mortality for manatees, and we expect some pretty much every year. And of course, colder it is, the more likely we'll see it.
Overall, there are more than 6,600 manatees in Florida waters, with the population more than doubling over the past 2 decades. It must be hard to count that. If you see a dead or injured manatee, you can call FWCC at 888-404-FWCC. Today, Governor Rick Scott is expected to release the state's tourism numbers for 2017. And those numbers are expected to show how much tourism was affected by Hurricane Irma last September. The governor was set to announce the numbers last month, but the announcement was put on hold due to the shooting at the Broward County School. Florida attracted, by the way, a record 112 million visitors in 2016. Tomorrow, Riverview High School will celebrate its 60th anniversary in Sarasota County. In honor of the occasion, former Riverview students and teachers and staff are invited to come tour the campus, see the planetarium, the aquadome, the school's nature walk, and also there'll be a pep rally there. There'll also be an introduction to the Distinguished Alumni Hall of Fame for 12 outstanding alumni. Great school over there on Proctor Road. Still ahead, latest and first alert traffic, and kids are smoking cigarettes less these days, but now there's a new threat on the market.
A small statue of the baby Jesus.
And it's the second coming of baby Jesus for this church in New Jersey. We'll tell you this bizarre story. But first, let's go back now for a live picture in Miami outside Florida International University. The death toll has now increased to 6, where a bridge collapsed. Still 10 injured. We'll have details of that story and more news coming up. At first, a peek at the Friday forecast from John Scalzi.
Thanks, Ray. Looking at a school bus forecast today that calls for some pretty nice conditions, but chilly out there this morning. We'll have a pickup temperature of about 48 degrees, but drop off at the school bus this afternoon. Nice, sunny, warm, coming in around 71 degrees. Can't beat that. Looking for something to do this weekend? Sarasota County Fair opens up. Sunny and rain-free generally through the weekend. Today, by 6 p.m., look for temperatures in the upper 60s and sunny with low humidity. By 11 p.m. closing time, temperatures in the upper 50s. I think today it opens up at 2. Over the weekend, it opens up at noon. We'll have the complete forecast for you coming up in a few.
Alex Karras Lincoln's 40th anniversary sale. Please join us in welcoming the 2 newest additions to the Lincoln lineup, our flagship luxury sedan, the 2018 Lincoln Continental, and the totally redesigned 2018 Lincoln Navigator, featuring 450 horsepower, 10-speed transmission, and many best-in-class features. Alex Karras Lincoln, where our mission statement is consistent commitment, every client, every time. Located 2 miles north of the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport on US 41.
This is an important announcement. If you're between 50 and 85 and worried about your loved ones, you can still get affordable life insurance for peace of mind.
My life insurance coverage is guaranteed, and I was not required to get a medical exam.
I had high blood pressure and diabetes, and I got my coverage with 1 telephone call. No exam necessary.
I'm a smoker, and I wanted to take care of my family. I called to get my life insurance and my affairs in order. I wanted to do the right thing.
Call Final Expense No Exam Insurance. Your rates are guaranteed and will never increase.
I called and learned that this insurance cannot be canceled even if you get sick or gain weight.
And there are no restrictions on how my beneficiaries use the money when I'm gone.
Approval was easy and the price was right. I wanted to do this for my children.
Call 800-738-9812. 800-738-9812.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Planning a Carnival Fantasy Cruise out of Mobile? Then check out the park and cruise packages at the luxurious Battle House and Renaissance Riverview Plaza hotels. Stay at the Battle House for $169 per night or the Riverview Plaza for just $149 per night and leave your car for the duration of your cruise. Includes transportation to and from the cruise terminal. If you're cruising out of Mobile, come stay with us. Call 1-800-MARRIOTT or visit Marriott.com now.
I took my first handful of pills, and that's when all my priorities seemed to change.
He would ask to use the bathroom in other people's homes.
He just assumed that they would have medication.
He'd go in their medicine cabinets and steal prescription drugs.
I wish I knew really what these prescription pills were.
We were so naive about the whole drug thing.
These are all synthetic forms of heroin.
Keep your medication locked up because you'll never notice that a pill is gone.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
My name is Julius. I have cerebral palsy. I work for Farmer Jeffrey Weising Law Firm. I do a lot of data entry and scanning documents. I want to increase my working experience to make the company much better. At the end of the day, it's good to think of the day's work and to think about what I have accomplished.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Now your ABC7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So, air temperature 41 degrees. We have clear skies out there and a dew point value coming in at 39. East wind at about 5. We're looking for a cool start to continue through the morning hours, so a light jacket or sweater might be required, but it will warm nicely after the sun comes out. 50 degrees by about 9 o'clock this morning. And as we head into the afternoon, this warming trend will continue with plenty of sunshine around and generally speaking, developing wind out of the east, which will help to warm us up as well. As the land gets heated, the air above it gets heated, and then that heated air is transported by the easterly wind across the peninsula into our area. So we'll look for a 71-degree temperature by around 3 p.m. Then, as the sun kind of wanes just a little bit, the dry air that is in place across the region will lose its heat very effectively and will be down into the 60s by 7 p.m. It'll be another cool night tonight before we can increase the humidity in the air, increase the moisture content of the air, and that will kind of retain some of the heat during the nighttime hours. The moisture kind of acting like a heat sink, if you will, keeping the air just a little bit on the more pleasant side, I guess, for a lot of folks who don't like the cool, chilly nights. We're looking for a couple of double-barrel low-pressure areas to kind of merge together with time and eventually drag a cold front through here on about Tuesday of next week. That'll bring with it a chance of rainfall. But before then, we'll be looking at a big ridge of high pressure that remains the dominant feature over the Deep South and the Florida Peninsula. It moves out into the Atlantic, and it does that. The return flow around this high will bring us a wind out of the east that'll increase our moisture content and give us the warmer weekend temperatures and warmer weekend evenings as well. Then that front approaches by the early part of next work week. So a warmer weekend, dry till the end of this week, and then we'll wait for that cold front to bring a chance of rainfall. Maybe a thunderstorm or two, but probably no severe weather. And not a big cool down, not as big a cool down as we saw previously. Sunshine today, sunshine tomorrow, maybe a few extra clouds as that storm system in the Deep South starts to produce little bits of higher level clouds across our region. And then as we head into Sunday, we'll be looking for that storm system to start developing this cold front that will advance into this neck of the woods and bring us that chance of showers on Tuesday. By Wednesday, it's gone. Drier, cooler air filters in. Forecast looking like this for today. We'll have north wind coming in at about 5 to 10 knots. Light chop. Nice day for boating. In fact, the weekend looks like it'll be nice for boating. 72 on Friday, St. Pat's Day, 75. Looks like a beautiful evening on Saturday. Sunday, 77 with nighttime lows in the 60s, and then a 20% chance of showers late Monday into Tuesday. Best chance of rain, then turning slightly cooler for a couple days, right?
All right, thank you, John. A quick look at first alert traffic. The usual buildups there on 301 in Manatee County. Otherwise, not too much in that area. Checking farther south, you'll see so far so good. As we go to our final map, though, we'll click on the icon. Oh, that's right there, in fact, Swift Road, blocked from Austin Street to Fort Worth Street. So be aware of that. Swift, where Tuttle becomes Swift. And let's check to the final map in the south. Mostly clear at 5:50. In this hour's Health Smart, the good news is kids are smoking cigarettes less. But as Tara Palmieri tells us, there's a sharp rise in the use of e-cigarettes.
E-cigarettes come in all flavors and the devices in all shapes and sizes. Some as inconspicuous as a USB drive for easy use at school. They are the most commonly used nicotine product among teens, but there are misconceptions that they are safer than tobacco cigarettes. But increasing data may be saying that they are as harmful. From 2014 to 2016, about 60,000 surveys were completed by kids from 6th grade to 12th grade in both public and private schools across America. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention now tell us that 78.2% of those adolescents have seen advertisements for e-cigarettes. They saw them in retail stores, 68%, a little less often on the internet, television, and newspapers and magazines. And those ads in retail stores significantly increased during the 2 years of the study, while newspaper and magazine advertisements fell. A staggering 4 out of 5 kids have seen ads, and studies have shown that that means there's a higher chance that your child will vape. If these forms of advertisement are illegal for the promotion of tobacco cigarettes, is it time to kick e-cigarette ads to the curb as well? The CDC thinks it may be a smart move. With this Medical Minute, I'm Tara Palmieri, ABC News.
88 years later, a religious statue that was stolen from a New Jersey church is finally back home. The package arrived without a return address. Members say they were surprised to find there was a small statue of baby Jesus inside the package. The church is filled with religious symbols. It was home to a school and an orphanage back in the 1930s. Someone way back then noticed the statue and it was stolen. Now it's making a joyous return to Hoboken, New Jersey. Interesting story there. We'll update the day's top news headlines and have much more for you after this. But first, this is once again a live picture of the scene in Miami where the death toll has now risen to 6 after that bridge collapsed yesterday, a brand new bridge near the campus of Florida International University. An update on that and more news on the way on Good Morning Suncoast.
What if you had a medical emergency away from home?
My chest hurts. I can't breathe.
What you need is Mobile Help, America's premier mobile medical alert system. Most systems only work at home, but with Mobile Help, you get help outside the home with coverage nationwide on one of the largest cellular networks at the press of a button. Call the number on your screen for a free full-color brochure. We'll send you everything you need, including this base station, the patented mobile device, and the waterproof pendant and wrist button. You can also add the fall button that automatically detects falls and signals help. Call today and receive a risk-free 30-day trial. There is no equipment to buy and no long-term contract. For a limited time, you will also receive a free emergency key box with your plan purchase. Remember, Mobile Help keeps you safe coast to coast.
Call 1-800-916-8638. That's 1-800-916-8638.
There was this big bruise on my friend's face. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to think her own nephew could have hit her.
I didn't want to see it. My mother's bank account was emptied, and a caregiver had taken control of it.
I didn't want to see it. My father's refrigerator. There was hardly anything in it. That's unusual for him.
It's tough to see that a senior citizen is being abused, physically, emotionally, sexually, or financially. Elder abuse is a crime.
So see the signs. Stop the crimes.
You now have the power to prioritize your Facebook feed and get local news and information from the team you trust. Go to the ABC7 Sarasota page on Facebook. Give us a like, then click following and choose See First. That's it. Customize even more by choosing notifications. Choose breaking news, posts, live videos, anything you want to see in real time. Take control of your newsfeed and stay connected to what's happening in your community with ABC7 on Facebook.
My name is Haley. I have Fragile X syndrome. I work with Chartwell's
at Einstein's, at FAU. I like being up front and interacting with students. The students are very nice and very hungry. Having a job is a big ticket for independence.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Ever since I can remember, I've been intrigued by industrial design and the optimization.
Wait, that's passion? Ever since I can remember, my passion has been industrial design. We need 3D printers for Miss Adams' engineering program so that we are ready to solve 21st century challenges.
Impressive. Think It Up is a new initiative to support student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classroom today? Think It Up.
I'm Alan Cohn, cleaning out the White House. The Secretary of State fired, plus more stormy details and what's new with the Russia investigation.
Tonight on ABC 7 News at 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Here are today's headlines. A Sarasota man is out on bond, charged with bringing a handgun to a school campus Wednesday on Proctor Road. Wilfred Nazario was picking up a relative when someone in the parking lot saw him tuck a gun in his waistband. Sarasota County Fair begins today and runs through the end of the month. A special deal allows you to ride any ride today for just $20. Next hour, a special live guest in our studio from the West Coast Black Theater Troupe. That is Joanna Ford there on the left. She is the understudy to Melba Moore there on the right. Joanna's been here before. She'll come back and tell us what she's learned by being the understudy to the legendary Melba Moore from Broadway. That's next half hour here on Good Morning Suncoast. Much more news next hour. Stay right there. We'll be right back.